no one hates you. They hate the projection that they have of you that's 99% made up, because no one can know 100% of you. Like, the only person whose hate you should really pay attention to is your own, because there's no other person on earth who has full context to who you are.
You should be and become always your best friend. And this goes against what most people believe. Most people think that there is another person, or there should be another person, maybe their best friend, their partner, their spouse, maybe, I don't know, a father or a mother. They would call, they're my best friend. Not realizing that you are the only person in your life that you're always going to be with you every time, everywhere, no exceptions. And that is because people will come and go from your life. And this happened already multiple times in your life. But through all of that, the only person that was always there and will always be there for the rest of your life is you. And that's why sometimes I advise my clients that you should develop a very good relationship with yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to be bad towards other people or ignore or think that they're less important, but you are always at the center. You're really always at the core. And the reason you should become your best friend, it's because you are the only one who can put yourself down, or you can lift yourself up. Of course, other people can also do that. For example, a friend can always be there, but a friend doesn't know everything about you. Even if you'd say, oh, this person knows me since forever, they know everything about me. Well, that's not actually true. This person might know you for a few years, even decades, but still they were not there since the beginning. And sometimes they are not going to be there until the end. This is why the relationship we have with ourselves is really the most important. And this is not selfish. This is actually the best way you can serve and be good towards others. It's because you take care of yourself. You nurture that which you bring to the others. If you, for example, if you serve other people, if you create anything, the best value that you can bring is your uniqueness. But for that, you have to be in tune with yourself, and you cannot really achieve that is if your life is always about someone else or something else. It might be a project, it might be something that is very important for you, but it's not really at the center.
An online stranger doesn't know you. All they have are a few vague impressions of you, too meager to form anything but a phantasm. So when they attack you, they're really just attacking their own imagination.
Nobody really knows you how you know yourself. Like, literally nobody. There is no single person on this planet that knows you as well as you know yourself. Well, okay, sometimes there might be exceptions to that, in the sense that if, for example, and I guess this would be the only exception, if, for example, you don't really pay attention to yourself, if your life is always about someone else or something else, and you are constantly distracted away from yourself, someone else might, if they really pay attention, if their focus is on you and your focus is somewhere else, this would be maybe the only exception where they might know more about you than you know about yourself in some circumstances. But in terms of presence, that can never be denied, because, again, you are always with yourself.
The hardest part about most things isn't knowing what to do. It's doing it. And the hard part about doing it is that you're often more rewarded for every action except for the one that you need to take.
So this is true, but the reason most people don't do what they otherwise know they should be doing, it's because they get the satisfaction from some sort of projection, but without taking the action. The transformation happens through the action, not through the mindset. The mindset is just setting your mind right, but then absolutely it has to be followed by the action. And therefore, this really goes to the core of that the biggest limitation on personal transformation is lack of action in the right direction. For example, in coaching, you might get guidance. Hopefully it's good guidance. Not all coaching is equal, depends on the approach and the person. But if you have good guidance, it worth nothing if you don't follow through. If you don't really follow the steps, if you don't take the action, if you're not consistent, nothing will change. And it's so difficult for people to understand this, because it's so comfortable for the mind to just play games and go like, well, I show up to the coaching session. I did show up, so then I'm making progress, right? No, you didn't. Or the mind goes like, well, I'm reading a lot of books, so I'm learning, so then I'm making progress, right? No, you don't. Because without applying, for example, what you read in a book and you find a good idea, a valuable idea, if you don't take that to ask yourself, okay, this is useful, but how can I apply this in my life? Without really doing that, nothing will change. And those ideas will be long forgotten in few weeks, months, years later. You will completely forget them. So you see, ideas are just like almost like a fire. But if you don't cook something on the fire right then and there, well, the fire dies out and that's it. It's just good luck capitalizing on the next fire.
But there is such a thing as being spread too thin and overworked across a larger bucket of things. If all that you have to do for the next 6 months or 2 years is write a book, it's going to be stressful, but it's going to be enjoyable. If you have to write a book and raise a kid and manage finances and go to work and try and get in shape and connect with your partner and your mum's ill.
The solution is always like filter out. The solution is always, you need to take a step back and see what really shouldn't be there. One of the biggest ability that we don't really use is to cut things out, to literally cut the cord on things that drain our energy. You know, it's actually a lot more, I guess it's a lot more strenuous to just sit on the couch and just juggle in your mind or ruminate or worry about 20 different things than to do just one thing. Take, for example, running. If you compare running with ruminating, like sitting on the couch and just like worrying about things, spinning things in your mind, you're going to see that when you come back from the running, you will feel energized, you will feel good, you'll feel fresh, you will feel alive. If you sit on the couch and you think about 20 different things, like, oh my God, that guy said this, oh, this happened, I have to do this, blah, 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 all of this, you're going to feel drained and exhausted, which basically puts into the question, where are really the holes in our buckets of energy? It's not really doing something hard and continuous or something simple but hard. No, it's just juggling too many things. And I guess the reason people keep so many things in their mind is because they believe everything is important. They don't know how to create a hierarchical structure for the things that they have on their plate. And also they don't know how to simply drop plates. Like, you know what? This is not good. I don't need to do this. I can stay away. Done. Like, drop it, quit, stop. This ability is actually very useful because we have limited energy, but we somehow have this idea that the more things that we have on our plate, the more busy, the more progress we make, the more successful. I don't know exactly what's the story in there, but it's definitely something that points back to us. If I'm busy, it means I'm alive. If I think about so many different things, it means I'm active, I'm living my life, which is actually a very poor way to think about it, because living your life means picking a few very good directions and going all in on them and then saying no to everything else.
And people fall apart. The system is designed to handle intensity, but not complexity.
I think most people would be astonished at how much they can accomplish if they remove things.
If you have, for example, one thing, it's just one. If you have two things, it's, let's say, two. But if you have three or more, I think it becomes orders of magnitude more complex, because now you have intersections. Now you have things interacting with things. That's why sometimes life decisions are very hard to make or go through properly. It's because you have to consider multiple different factors on separate domains that somehow interact. And they interact sometimes in ways that you cannot really predict. So you see, even if you have 5 conditions, like, oh, what do I want to do with my life? And you have 5 things that are important for you. Those 5 things actually become 25 or 250 things for you to consider. The people don't really put in the work to filter, which is crazy, because then they have to put in the work to actually figure out all that mess. Imagine, either way you're working, but you might as well, before starting on working on problems that might not be yours, make sure that you put in the work to consider cutting them out.
Getting 1 inch deep on 5 projects is rarely a novel concept. Like, you rarely will come up with something that is inherently unique, because many people can give 1 inch deep thought towards any idea.
Well, also somebody who is 1/5 as good as you at doing that thing are giving 100% of themselves. So you're basically curtailing your capacity by spreading it across multiple things.
We just don't want to go deep. Depth is actually a superpower, I would say. When you go deep with something, or like rather than just many things, you are going to discover a whole new world. But the reason why people don't do this is because of too many distractions. We are too distracted. We allow too many distractions in our life. This is literally, I guess that this would be like a personal challenge for everyone to just consider, what should I cut out from my life? What is really not serving my life or affecting my life? And what should I let go? Almost no one is ever doing this. When people really drop things from their life, I don't know, projects, people, relationships, it's only because things have turned so bad that it's just too obvious. But I'm saying it's actually a smart way to do that work before it's too late, before everything crumbles.
Stop whining. Every position has an advantage. Younger means cutting edge. Older means more experience. Smaller company means more personalized. Bigger company means longer track record. Rich means resources to use. Broke means nothing to lose. You aren't limited by your resources, only your resourcefulness.
Yeah, resourcefulness actually is a superpower, because you can literally deal with anything if you just allow yourself to continue. No matter how many challenges you have, for most people, it's just a very early point where they just give up. They'll be like, this is too hard. I cannot do this. Life is unfair, whatever. This doesn't work. But being relentlessly resourceful, like literally every time when you have a problem, ask yourself, how can I figure this out? Now, funny enough, this connects with today. I was about to record the video. As you can see, the quality is not good. The light is not good. Everything is not good. And that's because I'm traveling. And then I figured that, well, I want to record today. I put in my mind that I want to record, but all sorts of limitations, like I don't have an extension cord, I don't have this, the light is not good, the position of this is not good, the camera is not where it should be. It's just like I have nothing that otherwise I would have in order to record at least a good quality video. But nonetheless, I took it as a game. I took it as like, you know what? So the extension cord that leads to the camera is this length and it's fixed. The cable that leads to the laptop is fixed. And then I have a light on top of that is also not good, and you can see the quality. And I think I tried for 30 minutes to find like, where could I record this video? This quality that you see right now is the best that I could achieve with what I have here, but I didn't let this to stop me. It's because the goal is actually conquering myself. It's conquering that limitation, that voice that tells you, you cannot do it. You have to wait for a better day. No, well, you don't have enough things. You need to, you need something else. And being relentlessly resourceful means that, well, no matter what comes your way, you always take it as like, let me see what else. How else can I think? What else can I do? It's funny that, for example, the camera right now, it might not be interesting, but it's relevant to the topic. The camera right now sits on, because I wanted to raise it, I don't have a tripod here. It sits on a pan, like literally a frying pan. And the cable behind it, it goes through the desk of whatever this is, like bookshelf, right through the middle of it, because otherwise the cable could not go around it. So I found I poked in it a little bit and I found a way to put the cable in there. It took me some time, but every single time when I saw the problem, I'm like, no, I'm going to record the video. I'm going to find a way. Yeah, it's poor quality. It's definitely not the best video, but the challenge is always with myself. So therefore, I think that this is something that if you develop in yourself to be resourceful, like finding solutions, like being in problem solving mode, not in excuse finding mode, I think your life will change dramatically. And this will be for a lot of people.
Yeah. And I think that like your life is a consequence of your priorities. And the question is just whether or not, like, many people want, they don't actually want.
It's easy to say that you want things, but the truth will be never in your words. They will always be in your actions. And not just in your actions here and there, but in your consistent actions. You see, this is one of the mind tricks that we play on ourselves, just to give ourselves the satisfaction without really putting in the work. When we speak greatly about things and our plans for the future, and I want to achieve this and I want to do that, and that comes with some sort of satisfaction. It's almost like we are building this image as if that already became true, except it didn't. You're just, before putting in the work, before getting the results, nothing changed. But that's the thing. Some people take this as like the easy way out. It's just so much easier to just put consistent work for years in a certain direction and mind yourself through all the ups and downs than to just say things. Words come so easy, and sometimes that's why they say like words are cheap. Well, yes, in this context, words are cheap. However, words are not cheap when, I don't know, I guess there are a few exceptions to that. When, for example, you have someone with malicious intent announcing a malicious intent towards you, they're threatening you with something. Well, then words are not cheap. That is when you should pay attention. But when people brag or declare their intentions, they make promises, they set goals and all of that, then words are cheap. But then the same words can become valuable if they are followed through with action, with consistent action. Take, for example, a person that says, hey, I don't know, every day, or I don't know, I'm going to publish a video every single week for an entire year. Take this person, let's say they declare this, everyone cheers them up like it's amazing and all of that, but when things become hard, they quit. Well, then their words were cheap. But take the same person that says this and then they do it. They go through all the struggles, all the hardship, it doesn't matter, all the chaos, and they still do it. Then their words were not cheap. But you see, the proof always lives in the past. This is one thing that we don't understand the past, because the past is our build track record. And you have, like in this example, two different people that build two different track records. Their words are exactly the same. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. But one person's words are cheap because they did not follow through with action consistently, and the other person's words are actually strong. They have staying power. And that which gives the staying power is the consistent action, is literally showing up.
And I think that if every risk was only seen as zero downside, only upside, and either I win or I learn, which we are not the first people to say that, but whatever version of that narrative you need in order to realize that life has given you an endless amount of scratch-off tickets and you just have to cash them in, I think that more people would take bets and more people would win.
The reason why we don't take so many risks is because we don't really want to face rejection. We don't want to face failure. It's so much more comfortable to never try and feel successful. It's so much more comfortable to just think, imagine, declare, promise, and that's it. Just stay at the declaration level. But there is also a lot of power into risking. You're risking to realize that maybe you are not that good, realizing that maybe you're doing something wrong, realizing that something needs to be changed with you, or you need to, something is lacking. People do not even want to face that. They do not want to face the fact that maybe, maybe I'm not enough for this. In spirituality, there is this concept like you're enough, you're good, you're loved, and you're enough. And that is true from an existence standpoint, is true. But when it comes to business, it's most of the times not true. Meaning, you have to face this realization that, no, I'm lacking something. Something is wrong with me. I need to change something about myself. And somehow people always have this almost like intuitive sense that if they try something risky, they're going to discover something about themselves that they do not want to face. And this is why they don't try. This is the perfect strategy to always keep yourself trapped, but satisfied, is to never try.